Okay, let's build a foil. Okay, before we start, there are many ways of building a foil out of foam, and this is just the way I've done it. So get your sheets of foam. This is Divinycell. I've got 4 sheets of 10mm Divinycell here, sort of medium density foam that you'd build a boat hull from. I've stuck both pairs together with a mixture of bog, and then I'm drawing my profile on the foil. I'm going to split the foil down its length, as you can see here, to put carbon stringers through the foam to give it more structure. I'm doing that because I'm not using high density foam. Organise your workspace and pre-cut your carbon or glass. One of my tricks here is to lay up a fair big wodge of carbon down the trailing edge, foot and just at the front of the foil to take any knocks. It also allows you to shape the foil into the carbon. You can see here the profile I'm going to route out to. You can get these numbers from our technical officer. They're called NACRA sections, but basically you just set your router and route down to a certain distance. Normally the foil is about 8% of the distance between the trailing edge and the leading edge. In this picture you can see the black lines, which are basically the carbon stringers that I've put through the board, and you can also see the carbon sticking out on the trailing edge. So route out the profile on both sides, leading edge and trailing edge. Then take your belt sounder and sand it down to the profile that you're left with. The next thing to do is to actually taper the board slightly. This is because if you've got a curved board, your profile will actually get thicker towards the bottom of the board if you don't taper it. There are lots of fancy ways of routing out your shapes that you need. I must admit that I just tend to do the tapering by eye. After you've done that, you cover the board in a mixture of epoxy and microballoons to stop the resin when you lay up sinking into the foam. These marks show you where you're going to need to taper the board to make the bottom of the board thinner. Otherwise your profile at the foot will be too fat. And the next couple of pictures show you the difference between the bottom, which this is, and shows you how fat it is if you don't taper it. And then the next one shows you the top of the board, and you can compare what it looks like. You can see that there. You can also see the carbon stringers here that stop crushing. And then the next picture shows you some elliptical profiles that you'll get when you've tapered the board, and the sort of profile that you're after at the foot, which this one shows quite well. And then all there is to do is lay up your carbon, which we'll do in the next part.